Chaos player starts to the bottom right of the kill and waste. In blue we have
CJN2's Trust.
Someone CJN2 can rely on, perhaps.
someone they can trust in.
Yeah.
To the top left, the Terran player starting for NS Hosa here. It is
NS Hoso Jakji.
Gas first, TVP. Put it down at 11. So perhaps a quick Reaper or even a very fast drop. Drop's really common on this map because there's so much airspace, and the rush distance by air is also, you know, in general, not very far on this map compared to a map like, say, Star Station or Whirlwind.
And looking now at the Terran player, this guy has such a story. He went up against Lenog in the finals. It was a long time ago and took him out. Nobody expected jjakji to win it. Everyone was saying Lenog is going to crush this kid. There is no way that jjakji is really going to win that title. And then jjakji just performed so well in those finals and took out Lenog, who at that time destroyed every Terran player that he faced. jjakji did it and then fell off all the way down into nothing. At least when you talk about Korean StarCraft, and now he's back in the Challenger League, and he wants to go a long way. He wants to go to the Premier League. He said over and over again, I am not done with the Challenger League. I want to go into the Premier League. This is just my first step, and I'm going to qualify immediately. He was very confident in his abilities here. He has practiced a lot. He said that he's motivated for this, and this is now the result, what we see right in front of us. This is what he tried to pull off. He prepared, of course, against his opponent, but Trust is also not an easy player to face. The one thing that goes here for jjakji, who actually places the factory in a proxy position, is that Trust is not the strongest player against Terran so far. He has played 6 maps against Terran in the past, here in Heart of the Swarm, and he only won 33% of them.
Yeah, he only won 33%. And, well, we'll see what jjakji's got planned here. As soon as I saw the SCV move out, I knew it was going to be a proxy because, you know, if you're going to Reaper Scout, you don't really need to put the SCV into the main base. It's a little bit redundant. And Trust, will he scout with the Mothership Core at all? Because that path that the Mothership Core often takes on this map for these spawns will pass the factory. Doesn't necessarily have to do it. There's a reactor going down beyond this, so we're probably just going to see a Marine Widow Mine drop. There's the first Widow Mine. And he doesn't have to commit to having the starport here. He could actually just walk Widow Mines in. We've seen this before too.
Yeah, you can definitely make that happen. Widow Mines appear very early than your main base. It's a very annoying build, especially when you're not prepared as a Protoss player. But as I say, we have the very early robotics facility for Trust, and this is great for him. This is exactly what he had to do, getting the detection out early, and with the Observer he will be in a position where he can fight against the Widow Mines. So, not the best build for jjakji to encounter here. This covers a lot of ground for Trust. This is exactly what he needed.
Excellent control against that Reaper. jjakji did see the robotics on the other hand.
He did not see the Widow Mine.
Nope. And, you know, depending on how this goes...
Okay, now
he's actually going to bait it out with a probe. Ooh, doesn't even lose the probe.
He doesn't have to, because he can still make it with the SCVs a good situation in the main base. He can send out the first Observer immediately. That would be all that he has to do here. So that game so far is not going all too well for jjakji.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't lose the Widow Mines, he could follow up at the drop later. The problem for him is that he doesn't have a starport. He never started. He goes to a third command center instead. Well,
yeah, the Widow Mine doesn't do too much here.
He saw the Robo, so he knew that he had to either try to escape or... Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot he can do there. Just unfortunate for him build order-wise. Goes into... Okay, for a second there I thought it was a second factory, but he's actually just moving his factory back. I was like, no way. Not with an eBay like this. So he's going to get the quick eBay out for +1, and Trust is going to have a forward pylon he can use not only to spot movements on the map, but also to put some forward aggression on, which he does with 3 Stalkers being warped in right now. Ooh, these 2 Widow Mines, though, could really put a hurting on those Stalkers.
Yeah, but he's going all the way to the top there, and he sees what's happening. I mean, he has the scouting information. He can't borrow the Widow Mine, but he knows what's going on. The problem really being that the Stalkers can't stop that bunker from going up, but there's only one, and he has to pull SCVs now. He has to realize what's going on here. That's a lot of aggression. Oh, he nearly stops it. It was so close.
He could actually just try to walk by here. More SCVs coming down. Yep. Good pull by jjakji with his SCVs and his Marines coming out there.
Yeah, where are those Widow Mines? Good shots against the Stalker so far, but decent micro by Trust too. He's sniping a couple of the SCVs.
And he tried to walk his Widow Mine across the other side of the map. Instead, of course, he doesn't have any Widow Mines at home because his factory is on the other side of the map. So he couldn't have any for the defender's advantage here. Is he going to really commit against this? He could take some SCVs out, but I think that committing up the ramp at this point with no more Stalkers is a mistake.
But he has 2 bases.
He does. He has the contain.
Yeah, he's on 2 bases and he's going straight into the robotics. The Widow Mines are not going to be a threat anymore. We still have an observer at the bottom right. So jjakji is actually in a horrible spot here. Yes, he has the 3 CCs, but he can't mine from the second base. He can't really use that. And we have the tech going up now for Trust, who's on 2 bases and utilizing them to a perfect degree.
Yeah. SCV tries to walk in. Will get in, but doesn't really see the bay, which is what he wanted to see. Siege tank production here for jjakji. This is the most awkward position you can be in as a Terran, where you're trying to make siege tanks to escape from your main base while you know your opponent is not only ahead of you in bases, but has been for some time. 2 forges going up for Trust back at home. He will get another observer and then start range.
This game is going. Everything is going wrong for jjakji here. He started with a proxy factory and tried to do some damage, or at least cause a delay at the natural of his opponent with the Widow Mines. Then it doesn't work because of the early robotics that we have and the detection. He is losing the low ground and is just now placing his command center down, whereas Trust already had the natural up for a long time. We even have the first Colossus being built. 1-1 is being built or researched for jjakji now. He's taking both bases. He's trying to get ahead again. And what he sees with the scan, he sees the tech, he sees the forges, he knows everything that's happening here. But still, we have the lead for Trust. jjakji has to make the right decisions now to overpower the Protoss later.
Yeah. We've seen comebacks happen in a situation like this before. jjakji has a 3rd CC, and he's going to start mining from it very soon. It all comes down to what Trust does with his advantage here. Because he could try to hit a timing at the 3rd base, deny mining from jjakji again, while taking his own 3rd.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like it all too much since we now have the Twilight Council started. We have the War Prison that gives him a bit of potential for aggression. Nice scouting, by the way, by jjakji. But yeah, coming back to your point, we have now with the Twilight Council, of course, him trying to go into 2-2. So he could still hit a later timing, but he gives jjakji a little bit more time to do it.
Yeah, he knows jjakji's 3rd base is there. Even though the Phoenix didn't get to see the main base, he knows the 3rd is landed in there. So he has to make a choice now, and with his tech advantage, and also with the Twilight Council researching Blink, if he takes his own 3rd, even though his 3rd is late, he still has that tech advantage that kind of evens it out. He also will be able to get ahead and upgrades with Chrono Boost, but adding 3 gates.
Yeah, we also don't have the armory just yet, if I'm not mistaken, for jjakji, so he can't even go into the +2 attack upgrade or armor upgrade if he wanted to. He is missing that completely. He's now adding the engineering bay in the armory, but that is very late. You want to have that out a lot earlier than that.
Yeah, this is going to become a problem when the game goes on. There's the 3rd base for Trust. He checks his 4th, make sure there's no drops coming or anything like that. There's a mothership core also floating around to the north. Or actually, that's the Warp Prism, isn't it? Yeah.
jjakji has more supply than his opponent. He has a strong army there, especially with a siege tank at the front if he gets it into position. But still, it's a bit shaky here. He's trying to get into a good spot, and Trust realizes this. He was moving out on his own, but then had to retreat. The drop could do a lot, has already been spotted, if I'm not mistaken, by the pylon.
Yeah.
Here comes the +2/+2 for the Protoss player. 2 Stalkers being warped in to stop this, and the rest of the army is trying to get into position at the 3rd base, but we have the Warp Prism at the 3rd of jjakji.
jjakji reacting instantly, pulling his mules. His SCV is the 3rd base targeted here for a moment. Now he's losing probes, and units. The Mothership Core goes down, and Trust falling apart suddenly here. No Nexus cancel.
Wow, Trust is completely overwhelmed by the multitasking here of jjakji. He is in such a bad spot.
And
he's
the
losing
forges.
everything in the main bay. The Mothership Core gone. He's losing one of those Colossi. Now the forges are being attacked.
1 forge down, and if he can get the 2nd one, he will. Oh my god, jjakji dismantling him like a locksmith, just taking him apart, opening the door. He's going to get the cancel again.
It's going to be another cancel.
Well, you say another cancel. The first one was not even a cancel.
Yeah, you're right.
And right now, jjakji takes a 20 supply lead, has a 3rd base mining completely. He does have his armory now. He's going to want to start those upgrades again.
I cannot believe this just happened, to be quite frank with you. We had Trust was trying to harass. He put in the Warp Prism and tried to do something about it, but this simple move by jjakji a drop in the main base and an attack at the third. That was too much for Trust to handle. The drop in the main base took out Stalkers, took out the Mothership Core, and then was able to snipe both of the Forges. Whereas at the natural, Trust lost the Colossus, he lost the natural, and he had to cancel again. I don't know what he focused on. I mean, what did he really look at? He didn't look at the drop in the main base, he didn't look at the third attack. Was he so focused on his own aggression with the Wall Prism that he did not see that happen?
I think it's like he tried to spread too little butter on a very large piece of toast. You know, he was basically, he sent a few units to each place, but not enough. And then each place just couldn't handle it. He needed to commit to one place or the other and then try to go back. If he used his Mothership Core to put the foot on overcharge in the main base instead of losing it, then maybe he could have saved his Forges after he killed the attack at his third base. He just really, he didn't split his units properly. His multitasking definitely lacking a little bit there. Catches this drop, but his Stalker's now isolated, and jjakji may put a wedge through this.
Yeah, at the beginning, things were not going well for jjakji, but now the opposite is the case. We have Trust just falling here a little bit apart. His War Prism was taken out. He's in a position where his opponent already put a stop to everything that he did. jjakji preparing with excellent production here, has a double starport with reactors, so he can immediately react to a switch. We have now the attempt of going into High Templars with Storm for the Protoss player, but jjakji is already on the move and trying to apply additional pressure.
Storm is a long ways off. 2-2, very similar in timing here for both players. It looks like Trust is going to have it a little bit faster, but jjakji may not give him the time to get that. 3 Colossi, but a lot of Vikings rallied here, and he already has so many. No force fields, but good Colossi shots. He loses the Colossus, however.
Yeah, horrible positioning with those Stalkers. Great job by jjakji sniping the Colossi. The first one is gone, the second one goes down, and the last one is also going to bite the dust. We have still a 20 supply lead for the NS Hosa player, and he's moving in. He has so much. I'm not quite sure if that can really be, jjakji can be stopped here.
I'm not sure he can either. The Vikings going for an attack at the third base during all of this, and just really good kiting. Even the Siege Tank coming to play a little bit here. That one Archon helps him push it back, but for how long? And 4 more Vikings rolling in. He can start to use his on the ground, as he already does at the third base. And the Mothership Core.
Mothership Core is going down here. Storm is still not done, and most of the High Templars are gone. He's losing the sentries. He's losing everything.
Too much, just too much momentum here for jjakji.
Way too much. He's going to take this game. The Mana Mule goes down. There's nothing left.
GG. jjakji having a deficit. His Widowmine pressure